Buckle up. We're going on a road trip to Peggy's Cove, a small rural community just a 45-minute drive from Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's a beautiful scenic drive with small cafes and galleries along the way. This insanely picturesque community is most famous for its still active, classic red and white lighthouse, and it may just be the most photographed lighthouse in Canada. This small active fishing community is a bustling tourist hotspot from spring to autumn, with tour buses and cars absolutely filling the parking lots. But we're heading over in November, the off-season, to see what the pros and cons are of traveling to Peggy's Cove at this time of year. Get a cozy drink and you will need a snack, because we're going on a beautiful everyday adventure video. Eating required!
And we're at Peggy's Cove. I have come here so many times as a kid, so many times as a teenager, as an adult as well. And it's actually my first time back in quite a few years. And they have a boardwalk now. This is what I'm standing on.
Back in my day, we had to walk up these rocks in the snow against the wind both ways.
But seriously, it's probably a good idea because it can be treacherous. This is the Atlantic Ocean right here. It smells amazing. And I have to be grateful for it because it's what's giving us all our lobster rolls and our oysters and clams and seafood chowders. Speaking of which, hopefully I'll get some delicious warm food after this because it is breezy and brisk. Now, this view is just quintessential Nova Scotia. Expansive granite rocks, the Atlantic Ocean crashing right in front of you, a historic lighthouse, and a fishing community. Check, check, and check. Immediately off the get-go, a big pro for us is the distinct lack of crowds compared to the summertime. Now, I know not everyone can take time off to travel off-season, but it left us with an easy drive and an empty parking lot. The obvious con is that the weather is definitely chillier than in the summer months, but there are these incredible new inventions called scarves and coats that can truly keep you warm. Canadians have been surviving for absolute years using this technology. The time of year doesn't take away from the absolutely breathtaking views of the Atlantic Ocean and the surrounding homes around the bay. Ooh, sticker wall. What? Now, of all places I expected to find a sticker wall, I would not have put my bets on Peggy's Cove. Obviously, things have changed since I've been here, but this is a pretty dope sticker wall, and I'm a little bit stressed with myself for not bringing any Kogi stickies to put up here. Kogi stickies, what's happening? My mouth is freezing up, but I'm making up new phrases. That's pretty normal for me. But just a couple favorites to point out to you that I'm enjoying on this wall. The Niagara Region Vespa Club Canada. I wonder if they drove here. Love football, hate racism. Very nice. I'm not sure what that's all about. Very dramatic. I feel like a character in a movie, perhaps Pride and Prejudice, who's like, "No, I don't want to see Mr. Darcy."
And then you go, "Safety, that's far enough, young lady. These rocks can be slippery. People get washed off and killed, okay? Safety first." Come, children, gather around the Muskoka chair. Did I ever tell you about the time that I lived in Korea? And it was many years ago, and in order to walk down the street, I had to go uphill both ways, both wise. Inside of the snow, the rain, and the sleet. Yes, where are you going? Come back here.
How amazing is it that they have these chairs set up so you can just be like, casual photo shoot in the middle of the kind of ocean. You know what time it is? It's chowder time. Thinks it's time to warm up a little bit. The Sou'Wester began in 1967 as a small tea room, and almost 60 years later it has expanded to a restaurant, which is still being run by the family of its original founder. Talk about a prime location. In the summer, there can be a queue just to get into the restaurant, so for us to just stroll on in was a total delight. That's a big pro to traveling off-season. We even grabbed a coveted window seat. I have such fond memories of eating seafood chowder and apple crumble with my dad at the Sou'Wester. Who knows, maybe we're even in the exact same seats. Now, there aren't many places that are located near a kind of touristy spot that I would say does really good food, but the Sou'Wester is one of them. I've been eating at this place every time I would come here as a kid to Peggy's Cove, and they have amazing seafood chowder with chunks of lobster in it, mussels. Like, Nova Scotia and Maritimes does not mess around when it comes to a seafood chowder. You're getting chunks of meat in there, like fish, scallops, like it's awesome. And it comes with the tiniest little toastiest toastiest little buns. You slather on some butter. They're a bit salty. They're a bit soda-y. Oh, and it is so satisfying on a cold day. Like if you're outside on the rocks and you're like, coming inside to warm up is a delight. I just love it. All right. Is this my third seafood chowder since I've been here? Yes, it is. What can you do? I'm right by the ocean. Perfectly cooked potatoes, creamy but not so creamy that you're going to feel sick from the amount of cream. Nice big pieces of haddock in there. Oh, it's just such a delight to warm up with it. That's so simple and so tasty. And these scrumptious scallops are wrapped in bacon and locally caught in a little town called Digby. You'll find the phrase Digby scallops on many menus in East Coast Canada. The additional bacon adds a delicious salty kick to these naturally sweet and plump scallops. One day, I really want to do a road trip around to the smaller towns in Nova Scotia, like Digby, the town that sounds like a Pokemon. It's now on the list. Digby, I choose you! I also heard they have a scallop festival. What a view. Now that our tummies are full and we've warmed up, it's time to explore the local village. But hang on, where's my phone?
Oh, hello. Martina's phone here. I'm just relaxing in her backpack while she finishes eating. But traveling wasn't always this chill for me. It used to be a nightmare. I'd be violently pushed out of my warm case. Get out, why? So complicated. She'd poke me with needles and take away my SIM card. No! Only to replace it with a foreign one. Who are you?
안녕하세요. 저는 당신의 새로운 심카드입니다. 팬티를 볼 수 있나요?
What are you saying? Where's my SIM card? But ever since she switched over to using Saley eSIM, my life has been so much less stressful. You just download the Saley app, pick the country you're traveling to, and then purchase the amount of data you're interested in using. Use the code KINGKOGI at checkout to get 15% off your first purchase. And the best part? You can activate your data before you fly out. And when you land, you can start using your phone data right away. Getting data for overseas travel has become a breeze thanks to Saley's eSIM technology of the future. Do your phone a favor. Scan the QR code on the screen and save the link to Saley for the next time you travel overseas. Ooh, looks like we're packing up to explore the nearby village. This is my time to shine. Gotta go. Whee!
Now, I confess, the one con of coming in the off-season is that the village of Peggy's Cove is closed for the season. Normally, it is bustling with local art being sold, knickknacks, there's musicians, and small shops selling seafood snacks and more.
Peggy's dogs. Foggy Doggy, the seaside sausage, the village veggie, and the seagull screamer.
However, the atmosphere of the town and its bright houses are still gorgeous. With fewer crowds, you can get a very different view of Peggy's Cove. And photography enthusiasts, you can get these serene shots that are quite different than those traditionally taken during the high tourist season. After living in Korea and Japan for so long, I have to say that I really can appreciate places like Peggy's Cove and the coastal villages, because it really reminds me of the kind of villages and places that I've been to in Asia. Really hardworking people that go out on boats. Like, this isn't just a tourism thing. Like, these are actual boats that people go out in, and they actually risk their lives, fishing to bring us seafood and stuff like that, and it's their livelihood. And it's really nice now, but in the wintertime, it can be absolutely brutal, so cold, so wintry, and people live here and work here, and it's the same thing in Japan and the same thing in Korea. So I have a really different perspective on these, fishing villages now. But so lovely and so colorful. Really, I think that the maritime personality is just incredible. Everyone's so vibrant and happy despite going through really difficult, harsh weather conditions and stuff like that. And I love all the colorful stuff that's around, like the tables and the chairs, and the houses are adorable. Like, you should see these houses up here. Lemon yellow, beautiful aqua turquoise, blue, bright fire truck red. Oh, I just love it. And it was the same when I was a kid. They're just updating the colors as the wind beats it down, and then, repainting it again. But how absolutely adorable. Oh. Just gonna breathe in the last of that fresh, salty air while I still can. Not like I'm not gonna have it in Halifax, but still, there's something about a coastal area that you just feel like all the pollution of all those years of living in a city. Healthy air in. Pollution out. And you lick your lips and you've got salt on them. Wow, childhood flashbacks. Oh, just gorgeous.
Now, while filming in Halifax, we had a pretty packed schedule. So when we travel, we always make time to just explore and wander at our own pace without any expectations. Exploring off-season is a different experience, but we think it's important to make space during any trip to enjoy slower moments like these. After all, life ain't a track meet. No, it's a marathon. The Honorable Ice Cube. Now, on our drive back to Halifax, we stopped at a local restaurant, and some of you might recognize this lovely little spot from our lobster roll video. Shaw's Landing has plenty of East Coast classics to try, so Dan decided to go for their homemade salt cod fish cakes, served with Canadian-style baked beans. Ooh la la, fancy.
What are you about to tuck into there?
Fish cakes
salt
and
cod,
beans.
molasses, homemade beans at that too.
So it says baked beans, but obviously these are different to what I'm used to. Straight in with the beans. Oh, they're great. They're sweet.
It's got molasses in it.
And then it's time for a fish cake. I haven't had fish cake since I was probably in school. Let's see what this is like. These are delicious.
I think it's made with potato and salt cod.
These are fantastic. And try it with the bean. Highly complimentary. That's great.
Give it the full sauce a try as well. It's like a vinegar, very light mayo. Kind of refreshes the mouth.
It's quite vinegary.
Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah. It's quite bright compared to everything else. That's sour.
Yeah.
That's sweet. And this is just very savoury and moorish. It's great.
Congratulations, Dan. You're on your way to becoming an East Coaster. But first, we will have to go to Newfoundland and kiss the cod. Ooh, yeah, kiss that cod. You like that? What am I even talking about? You'll just have to wait to find out when we go to Newfoundland. Whether you're traveling during peak season or off-season, I do hope you consider visiting Nova Scotia. And if you'd like to see what the local city of Halifax has to offer, check out our Halifax, Nova Scotia adventure video. The whole Halifax
everything will make more sense to you. And if you've enjoyed these videos, please consider subscribing. For our cat, you see every subscriber equates one pat on the head.
Wait, that's it?
Sorry, memers, it was a rough week.
I see. Nobody loves me.
And a big thanks to those of you able to support us as members on YouTube and Patreon. As independent filmmakers, this is how we keep the airship floating onwards and upwards to our next adventures. Till next time, keep keeping it cool in the King Kogi village. Captain Martina out.
You know I say that I'm a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Ring ding dong, ring ding dong. Ring a ding, ring a ding, ding ding. Hey, how you doing? Sorry you can't get through, but if you leave your name and your number, I'll get back to you. Buddy, I fell over. That's all right. Should I do it again? No, you were great. Really? Yeah. I'm not used to being on camera. I know, you did so good. Thanks.